Welcome to part 1 of our Bachmann ROD locomotive review, where we'll be taking a closer look at this stunning Bachmann ROD locomotive, number 1918. This model was supplied by the Model Centre, TMC, with their exceptional value weathering service. I'd come across numerous adverts on social media, and with the attractive price point and my previous positive experience with TMC's weathering, I decided to purchase one for the review. It's important to note that I paid the agreed sale price for this model and was not provided with any free samples, hence my review is entirely based on my own personal findings. During World War I, the Royal Engineers formed the Railway Operating Division, ROD, which began its operations in continental Europe in February 1916. Initially, the ROD planned to use locomotives from France and Belgium, but these countries deliberately kept their locomotives away from the front. British locomotives were quickly conscripted, and early loans included a variety of engines from Britain's railways. However, a standard gauge heavy goods locomotive was required, and this was based on the Great Central Railway's 8K class 280 designed by Robinson in 1911. Upon examining real images of these magnificent locomotives, it's evident that Bachmann has done an exceptional job in capturing their essence. In my opinion, the value weathering by TMC truly enhances the rugged appearance of these workhorse locomotives that endured harsh operating conditions. In part 2 I will delve into the history of Locomotive 1918 and showcase her in action. However, in this first part we'll focus on the model itself, providing a detailed review, discussing servicing and highlighting a repair that was required. As you can see, despite being a value weathering service, the weathering has been executed to a high standard. Rusting areas are meticulously highlighted, as are oil and water seepage, even featuring black grease on the buffing surface of the buffers. Bachmann has faithfully reproduced the many detail differences between the Great Central's 8K class and the ROD version, including the Westinghouse air brake pump on the smokebox and the re-railing jacks located on either side of the smokebox at the front. The cab detail is more than adequate, and what particularly stands out to me is how the weathering seems to have accentuated the intricate details, especially around the wheels and valve gear. After running the model for 30 minutes in each direction, I noticed that it was sounding dry, indicating the need for lubrication. It seems the weathering process may dry up the oil on the rods and valve gear, so it's important to use a light oil on all moving parts. To access the interior for servicing, you will need to remove 2 screws, an electrical plug and a brake actuator. The model features a reliable motor and sensible gears, which are easily accessible for maintenance. Unfortunately, upon opening the package, I discovered that the plastic pin that engages with the tender drawbar was broken off. It's worth noting that this can be a weak point, however, fixing it is a relatively simple task if you're inclined to do so. I removed the plate that holds the pin, cut a length of metal pin to the approximate size and securely attached it using superglue. This modification resulted in a far stronger connection than the original design. Just be mindful of maintaining the required distance between the locomotive and tender as dictated by sharp curves. If you opt not to have TMC fit the additional details for you, you'll need to install them yourself. Keep in mind that these details won't be weathered, so you'll have to find a way to blend them in. Personally, I use track colour thinned down slightly, and it works well to harmonise the added details with the expert weathering already done. I added all the buffer beam details on the front to avoid unsightly open holes. However, due to the model's working nature, the front coupling interferes with the safety chains, full dummy coupling and brake pipe. To ensure smooth movement of the coupling, I simply cut the obstructing parts away. I also added a lamp and crew, which I'm particularly pleased with. These small touches truly bring the model to life. So there you have it, another professionally weathered model by TMC that significantly enhances the overall appeal. Don't forget to check out our part 2, where we'll witness the remarkable locomotive in action and delve into the captivating history of the class and Locomotive 1918 in particular.